we missed our call on the show one night. We were supposed to come out after this one number, and that number was taken out of the show, and we didn't know. We didn't hear that announcement. So the whole time we're listening for Freebird to come on because we knew we followed Freebird.
Right.
Heard Freebird. Next thing we know, some guy comes on. I think it's y'all out on stage, man. I think it's supposed to be y'all. It's like our announcer says. He said it's live entertainment, folks. That's what happens.
That's what happens. All right, we should be. I don't know if. Yeah. Okay, we're live now.
All right,
we are live again, and I know that they can see you. And my guess is they can now hear you. That is my guess. I'm going to confirm that. What's up, everybody, man? We had full house. Sorry to make you guys have to bounce around. I don't know what the heck is going on, but we should have full sound now. I can't see it. Do you see it? Okay, everybody's popping in here. Good morning. Good morning. Go ahead and talk, Mike. Let's make sure you're good.
Good morning, my man. Hopefully we can hear everything now. Everything good?
Let's see. Let's see. Oh my gosh. My phone like won't pull up. It won't like refresh, so I can't see it. Can you see the live?
Yep, it looks like it.
And can you see anybody commenting?
Good to go. Sound check. I got Mike loud and clear.
Okay, sounds good now, they're telling us. Holy smokes, bro. Okay, all right. Now we have full sound. That makes me happy. We're running through the Zoom. We had to break it down into 2 lives. That's okay. Okay, everybody, are you guys ready this morning? I know you are. I know you're tired of me messing stuff up, but that's okay. I love you guys, and I hope you love me as well. All right, Mike, we got to get into this. You ready? You ready, my man? Mike. Mike, can you not hear me now? I am going to pull my hair out. Mike. Where is he? Are you
now
frozen?
Matt, can you hear me?
Is he frozen?
I'm here now. Can you see me?
There you are. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, Mike, where'd you go?
I was talking.
Dude, this is crazy. Okay. All right. We're good. Are you ready? You're ready. All right. Check it out. Thanks for coming back. This is crazy. You know how live goes. Tell me about one crazy live experience that you've had, man. You've done live stuff before.
Dude, something just like this happened. You know, obviously we were in a live show one time, and we always listen for the song that you're after, and we followed Freebird in this show. So we just listen for Freebird. When we hear Freebird, we start getting ready. We're ready to rock and get out on stage. There was an announcement apparently early in the show that Freebird was out that night. We totally missed that. So we're still listening for Freebird. And Freebird never comes. And so all of a sudden, one of the guys comes back in from the other dressing room. He's yelling, "Yo, I think you're on stage. I think this is y'all." And I'm like, I ain't got a shirt on. I throw my shirt on. We're walking out on stage, and the MC looks at us on. He says, "Live entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it's all about." There was about a full minute and a half just silent piece on stage, and it was all our fault. But what do you do? What do you do?
Hey, man. Well, the good news is it's like a car wreck, right? Everybody likes to turn their head and look.
That's it.
That's the thing about live TV. It's almost like watching NASCAR racing, right? You're just hoping for the wrecks. Well, good, because this has been a wreck, but that's what happens when good people come together and good content starts going out. You know, the enemy has a way of trying to squish that stuff down. We just got to make sure that we always fight through. It's not always going to be smooth, right? We just got to fight through. Check it out, man. I got to know, obviously you do these shows, you do 2 shows a day, 6 nights a week. You got your legs doing that stuff, man. I mean, that's insane. What does the word discipline mean to you? Obviously, you're an incredibly disciplined human being. So tell me about that word discipline. What does that mean to you?
Man, you got a lot of stuff that goes into that. Obviously, with the dance and what we're doing is you have to keep the discipline to know that this is still a job. This is just the same as you showing up on an assembly line, being there on time, and following all the rules. You can't get caught up in the part of where you get to do something so fun every day. You still have to have the discipline to make sure you're there on time, make sure you're there doing what you're supposed to be doing. But there's another complete discipline that comes into play there. You have to understand that those people are paying big money for those tickets to come and see you. So you have to have the discipline not to get slow and get lazy in what you're doing. You have to make sure that you're taking it to the fullest every time you hit the stage, because what if that was you sitting in that seat and somebody comes out on stage and they give you 50%? You know, have you wasted your money to pay for that ticket? And I can't have anybody thinking that. So when we go to the stage, it is full out. You have to have that discipline night in, night out to make sure you're putting on the show that they're paying to see.
Right, man. That's incredible for sure. I mean, 6 nights a week, 2 shows, full throttle like that, delivering that kind of energy. You know, I get exactly what you're saying. It might be somebody's first show ever, right? Might be the first time they've ever seen you. Maybe they traveled. Maybe it's been a dream of theirs, you know, to see you, and you got to deliver. And I think that applies to all of us. You know, there's a lot of us in this group. We have jobs, and our job's not necessarily to go up and dance and perform in front of thousands of people, you know, every single day. But even if our job is to go out there and sell a car, or our job is to go out there at the hospital as a nurse, or any of those things, it's the same, right? We have to make sure that we go into it every single day with that same enthusiasm as we did on day one, right?
And the thing is, you gotta know too, you never know what tomorrow holds. That might be the only time that person ever gets to come and see your show. They may never get to come and see you again. So you want that to be memorable for them. You want to give them something to take away, because you never know what their life has to hold. They may be traveling the world and that's the only time that they get to see you, or you just never know. So you got to make the most of that moment for sure.
Super, super, super important, man. I think that's strong. I think that's valuable. Hey, guys, we've had some technical difficulties this morning. We've got great sound now with my man, Mike Curtus, and it's really important to me that we go ahead and hit that share button so that we can get Mike out to the world, because I want everybody that doesn't already know Mike Curtus. He's a big wig, right? But anybody that doesn't know him, I need him to know this guy. This guy's from Paris, Kentucky, born and bred. He came out of a tiny little small town of 9,600 people, and now he's out there doing big things. And it's people like Mike that can impact and inspire our friends, our family members, our coworkers, all the people around us. So share, show you care. Go ahead and hit that share button. Let's get everybody up in here. If you're watching on replay, and I got to call some of you replay viewers out. Sometimes my replay viewers, they just sit back and consume. I need you to get active. I need you to say good morning. Let me know that you're here, and hit that share button. I'm all about the strong push on the share. Can you tell?
I love it, dude. I love it. That's emotion right there,
buddy. I'm passionate about. I believe it, man. I believe it. The mornings are just so incredibly important to everybody. All right, check it out. You've had, you know, obviously you've built wealth, like from the ground up, literally with your legs and your feet.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You've built wealth, you've built celebrity, you've been on stages, you've met incredible people, you've gotten to travel, you've gotten to do a lot of things. Tell me something, like, what is one of the greatest things that you've learned about, you know, wealth and celebrity? Because in everybody's eyes, it's like flashy, right? I want to do that. I want to be on a stage. I want to be rich. I want to be famous, all of that. So what's one major lesson maybe that you've learned now that you've had a taste of some of these things that not necessarily everybody gets to taste?
I have, and this is huge. I've learned in a huge way that too many people get way too caught up in it. And that changes the type of person you are. And you don't want that. And you'll see, you know, I had an experience one time. We were at the Grand Ole Opry, and in Nashville, Tennessee. It was the final day of this competition deal. And this was well before any of this happened. But backstage, you would always run into the artists that were going to be on the Opry show that night. And we were running into one of them coming down the hallway, and this little bitty boy, he couldn't have been 10 years old, came up to this guy and he asked him for his autograph. And the guy walked past this little boy like he didn't even exist. And I was like, man, but that had a huge impact on me, because I never want to look at myself. I never want anybody to look at me like I looked at that guy. because I saw him do that, and it wouldn't have taken 10 seconds for him to stop, say hello to that kid, sign his autograph, and that would have made that kid's year. And it showed me that you can get way too caught up in that. So we've gone way out of our way, extremely out of our way, to make sure we don't end up that type of person. You know, when we go to a show, when we do a show, after the show's over, we sit and we meet and talk to every person that's there if they want to. If they want to meet us, if they want to take a picture, if they want us to sign something, they get that opportunity when they come to our shows. We feel that's really important. And I found that that's one of the most important things in this entire business, is to not get so caught up into it that you think you're a superstar, because I'm still Mike from Paris, Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? None of that changes.
Right, Mike from Paris, Kentucky. Yeah. I love it, man. I love it. I love your humility that you have, and that comes off right at the gate. You know, from when we first got a chance to meet on Friday, before we had crazy technical difficulties Friday. You know, your humility just shines through, and that's why I wanted to ask that specific question. Is I wanted to make sure that the viewers, the people that are out there, you know, that are dreaming, and sometimes we think that's the mecca, and that's what it's all about. It's all about getting on the stage, but in reality, it's about who you are when you're on the stage, right?
That's it. Because like I said, those people pay a pretty penny to come and see those shows. They're excited when they get there. You have to make sure that you give them exactly what they're paying for without compromising yourself. That's a big deal.
That's a big deal, man, and that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Listen, let's say my guess is, from what I know about you, my guess is it's probably, you know, God first, family, and friends. You know, that's probably an order of priorities with you. So we're gonna remove those real quick.
All right.
Let's remove God, family, friends. Let's just remove those. Not take them out of your life, but let's remove those from this particular question. I want to know, what do you treasure most in life? If you take those three away, God, family, and friends, what's something that you treasure in life?
What do I treasure? I do treasure the opportunity of getting to go on stage every night. That's a big deal. Like this might sound corny to most people or to some people, but I treasure my health. And this is why I say, I have diabetes, and for what I do, that much energy being exerted every time you go on stage and stuff, it makes life pretty rough from time to time, keeping control of your diabetes. Because if your sugar drops too low, all heck can break loose, you know.
Yeah.
And it gets really difficult to control it sometimes. But I treasure the fact that I haven't let that define me. If you watch all the TV shows that we've ever done, nobody ever talks about that. We've gone out of our way to make sure that that's not a thing. That's not a thing. When I go on stage, even if my stage show, we're right in the middle of the stage show and my sugar drops low, myself and along with the guys, we've figured out ways to get past it without the audience knowing if we're on stage and something goes down. So I'm real excited and proud of the fact that we've been able to do that. Like I said, it's a huge issue, huge. But I don't let it affect me, and I definitely have not let it define me. So I'm real proud of that.
Bro, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, man. Thank you for sharing that. I think a lot of us take our health for granted.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily treasure it in that way that you just expressed.
Yeah.
And the fact that you said that it's a part of you, but you don't let it define you.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, is, you know, we've all lost close loved ones over the years. I lost my father when I just turned 21. I was just becoming a man, just becoming ready to get wild and this and that. And I lost my father, and that was a huge thing to me. And I loved him. He was my best friend, but I've had to be without him through a lot of this cool stuff. You know, I can't tell you what it would be like to get to walk off stage and give my dad a big hug or a high five or something like that one night. And, you know, I know he's watching. I know that. But it doesn't make that easier. And I don't want my babies to have to go through that. And so I go out of my way to make sure I'm cool and all that type of stuff, because they need their daddy around. You know what I'm saying? So,
I do know exactly what you're saying, my man. I lost my father, you know, like 10 years ago. And so I understand exactly what you're saying. You know, it's neat that you said that. you know, I know my dad's looking down, and I'd say he's pretty proud of the things that I'm doing today, but that still don't make it any easier, man. I'd
No,
love to give him a hug and a high five, and you
that's
know,
it.
I miss him deeply, and I try to take care of myself for those same reasons, man. I want to make sure that my kids have their daddy,
That's it.
you
That's
know.
it. That baby's got to have pops to come home to. I'm telling you.
Yes, that's for sure. Otherwise, nothing against all the mamas in here, but if they didn't have pops, they'd have nothing but mamas, man. It'd be crazy out there.
That's it. That's it.
Just kidding. I got lots of ladies up in here this morning. Better be careful now. Gotta be careful. No, I'm just kidding, man. That's powerful though, man. I really do appreciate you sharing that and getting vulnerable with us this morning. That means a lot to the group. If you guys are enjoying Mike Curtis, you know what you got to do. I'll say it again, man. Let's get this out there because this is powerful stuff. Listen, Mike, you talked about on the show Friday. Okay, we'll call it a show. The attempt at a show. It was a mess. We did a 2-minute takeaway at the end, and you talked about using your imagination and how important it was for people to really like go after that stuff, you know, use your imagination, create, and all of that. I thought it was really, really powerful. For those of you guys that missed it, you can still find it. It's tough to hear him, so make sure you got headphones on and the volume way up. But Mike talked about the power of imagination on Friday, and it was incredible. What do you imagine yourself? Are you being a big fan of using our imagination? What do you imagine yourself doing? Like, what's it look like for you 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now? What are some of the things that you're still dreaming on?
Yeah, well, imagination can run bigger than just what you do on stage as well. You know, this group of boys is a blessing to me. We get to travel the world. We get to do all these different things. We get to go perform on cruise ships. We get to we've got a gig coming up in Saudi Arabia. You know, some of the crazy places in the world that we'd still like to see are high on the list. One of the big things though is I'm bringing the boys to Paris, Kentucky in January.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so
coming back home.
It's been a while since I've been able to come back home and do everything. And I'm actually bringing the group and all of the tricks that we do in the stage show and all that type of stuff. So we're real excited about that. So we've already started letting our imaginations run wild as far as that goes. And we've got a few surprise tricks or guests maybe that are going to be joining us there. So
nice.
We're putting it all together, but we're definitely going to be in Paris. I'm real excited about that. I can't wait to see everybody live and in person and throw down a little bit.
When are you guys going to be out here?
We'll be there January 18th and 19th. We're doing 2 shows at Bourbon County High School. This is a benefit to raise money for Bourbon County High School's senior.
Hold on, Mike. I gotta interrupt you, Mike. Hold on a minute. You're traveling to Saudi Arabia. You're doing 6 shows. You're doing 6 nights a week at the Opry. You're you're big time, bro. You're national, known worldwide. You're America's greatest talents and all of this. What the heck are you doing at Bourbon County High School?
Hey, home's where the heart is, dog. You know how it is. Now, my nephew Dalton is a senior at Bourbon County High School. And he approached me with this. And, you know, Project Grad is a deal that the senior class does to raise money throughout the year for, you know, anything. Their senior trips, their cap and gowns, whatever they need. And he asked me what I consider coming up. And in January, we do have a little bit of a break. So, you know, I love Dalton. He's that's my dog right there. So I had no doubt that we would come up and do it. So we've worked out the schedule to clear up those 2 days and get up and do the shows and all that type of stuff. And like I said, we're bringing everything. We ain't gonna play around. We're not just coming to make an appearance. We're coming to put the show on. That's what we're doing.
You guys know, I'm teasing Mike. I'm teasing him because I know how humble he is, and I want to make sure that you guys don't miss this. Okay, he talked about staying after and signing some autographs. He talked about staying after and making sure every single person got the full experience. He talked about staying connected with all of his fans. And now he's talking about coming back to his hometown and doing a show at the high school. At the high school. And the reason I want to point this out and make sure that you guys get this is because I know sometimes we get big-headed, sometimes we get egotistical, sometimes we think that we are above doing certain things. And that's not the case. That's not the truth. That's when you're on the edge of defeat. When you start to think that you're better than anybody or better than something, that's when you're on the edge of defeat. Humility. I love it, my man. I love it. I'm going to go catch the show. I'm going to go catch it. I'm going to make sure to catch the show. I'm going to make sure to support Project Grad here in Paris, Kentucky, because I love what you're about. I love who you are. I think it's crazy. I think it's
Thank you, brother. Listen, I appreciate it.
Let me ask you a question. What is that like, man? What is it like walking in your purpose?
You know, I try not to get too caught up in any of it. I still try to live my daily life and do the things that I do and the things that I love and the things that make me comfortable every day. So I kind of keep to myself with it all. I don't get caught up in anything. So, you know, my purpose is basically my family on a daily basis. So walking in that just makes me smile, dog. Just makes me smile. So I'm a pretty happy dude, man.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to frown about, and I'm very lucky to be put in some of these situations. So I'm very thankful, I guess, for everything that goes on with me.
Well, you clearly, you know, you have this God-given gift. God gave you this talent. He gave you this discipline. He gave you this humility. He gave you this skill. And I think a lot of us have talents, gifts, skills. We have these things, but we don't necessarily get to walk in that every day. Not necessarily like the way that you are. You know what I mean? Like you're actually making a living. You're supporting your family. You're traveling the world, and you're doing it all on this gift. This gift that God gave you. And so I'm just kind of curious. You know, I'm starting to learn a little bit more about it myself as I've gotten away from the car dealership. I'm really focusing on rise and grind. And I feel like God gave me this gift. And I'm starting to walk in it, and it's interesting, you know, it's different. And so I'm just looking to you as a veteran who's kind of been living your best life kind of every day. Like what's that like? You know, I understand the gratitude's there for sure, you know, but what's it feel like just knowing that you're centered? What kind of peace and serenity comes with that?
I was gonna say there's a lot of peace that comes with it. Now I do have to pinch myself all the time, make sure I'm not dreaming through all this, because I'm telling you, we get to do some cool stuff, dude. You know, the America's Got Talent thing. Let's take that in consideration. I got to meet Howard Stern and stand there and have a conversation with the king of all media. You know what I'm saying? And he was talking to me like we had known each other for years. Sharon Osbourne had a crush on me. Wanted to see, you know what I'm saying? And so I was like, is this for real happen? But I in those situations, you truly get to live and be like a superstar for the entire 6 months or so that happens, because that's a long process from beginning to end of that whole deal. You know, it's a long process. So you got to keep yourself with some energy. You can't let that wear you down. But man, I mean, again, thankful keeps coming through my head, but I get to live a superstar's life from Paris, Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? And it's, you do have to pinch yourself from time to time to make sure this is reality.
I bet you do. That's awesome, man. Look, we're so we're behind on time, but we're right on time.
Sweet.
Right? Because God's timing is always perfect, isn't it? And I think with us running a few minutes late, there's probably some people in here this morning that don't normally get to catch us live.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a great thing. You know, I apologize for the technical difficulties, but I believe that God always has a plan for that. And the plan for sure this morning was for more people to get to know Mr. Mike Curtus, because you, sir, are an incredible human being, man.
Thank you,
You're
bro.
an incredible human being. I absolutely love everything that you're about. You guys that are watching, we still got tons of people watching the show this morning, which is awesome. I appreciate you guys bearing with me as we had a little bit of an issue there. But you guys that are watching, do me a favor. Hit that share button. Hit that share button. Hit that share button. I want this episode right here, even though the intro's gone and we messed up all that stuff. I want the last 20 minutes that have been just pure gold with my man Mike Curtus. I want the world to start off their day with some incredibly powerful stuff from an incredibly humble human being. So make sure that you hit that share button if you love this guy. Also, if you need to watch more videos, you can always go to glennlundy.com. You know, we've got more episodes on there. You can go back and watch Mike on Friday. With the sounds a little different, but you can watch Mike on Friday. Make sure if you're in Paris, Georgetown, Lexington, or any of those areas, look him up. He's going to be here January 18th and 19th at Bourbon County High School, showing all the tricks, bringing in some special surprises. I know one little surprise. I'm not telling nobody, but I know one little surprise. It's going to be fire. So I'm going to go buy my tickets as soon as humanly possible to make sure to support that program. And also, of course, if you need a planner, some Rise and Grind gear, any of that stuff, go to glennlundy.com. But we're going to wrap this thing up. Mike, do you got anything you want to say to all my crazy Rise and Grind crew this morning before we get out of here?
Man, I just want to say thank you to everybody for being up, putting up with all the technical difficulties we've had, listening to my country accent over and over and over. You know, it's a lot to deal with, but thanks for being here. Thanks for spending your time with us. A lot of places you could be in, man. I'm glad you spent it with us.
That's so awesome, man. All right, guys, we will see you again tomorrow morning. We'll do this all over again, 5:30 a.m. Hashtag Rise and Grind. Have an incredible day today. Have a phenomenal, over-the-top, fantastic, absolutely unreal day today, Monday, December 3rd. Go out there and kill it. We'll see you back here again tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. on Hashtag Rise and Grind.